Hi, everybody. How is everybody doing this afternoon? This is a little bit different, but I said I was going to start trying to come on, um, in the middle of the afternoon some days because I think that way I can put more days in so I can be live and more content up, and that's what I want to do. So, excuse me, I've got to get a schedule book so I can just be able to arrange my schedule now that I do have some degree of a little bit of responsibility. But I thought we'd do something fun. We've done some heavy stuff, and I don't want this channel to all be heavy either. But I figured out why not come on today. Hi, Sandy Wendy, and tell you what's in my crochet toolbox. I take this bag everywhere I can possibly take it. I took it to the conference. I take it to doctor's office. I usually always put my crochet hooks in this bag. I know me. I know it's going to be one of two places. It's going to be in this bag or it's going to be by my bedside. The two places. I do not deter from that because I know me and then I'm going to be hunting for crochet hooks. I don't want to. When I sit down to do crochet, I want everything ready. I want everything prepared. I want everything exactly where I know I can find it. And so this bag literally goes everywhere I go. Even if I don't think I'm going to get to a project, I still take it with me because there's chances are I'm going to be waiting someplace. And I really think that it's really important to me that I keep my hands busy. And that's what I do. So anyway, this is what's in my toolbox. And this is what I carry. I carry this bag. Okay. This one, I've had it for years. It's called Yarn Dream. It's by Art Bin or Art BIN, but you probably can find one on Amazon. And so this is the bag that comes with me everywhere. Everywhere I go, it's coming with me. I'm going to move my mic just a little bit out. So this is the bag that comes everywhere. And inside this bag is all my stuff. And then I'm not hunting for it all around the house. I'm not hunting for crochet hooks. I'm not hunting for anything. Now, the current projects I have, pretty much all the blankets I have right now are not travelable. If that's even a word. I can't really take them to different places because they're too involved. They're taking too much yarn. The one project I have usually has like 4 different yarns coming at it, and they're on similar to what a cross stitch grid would be on a very large size. So taking them someplace is almost impossible. I could, but if I'm trying to do this in a doctor's office and so forth, maybe on a trip I could, but those blankets really are not easily travelable. I can focus on them pretty easily, but they're ones that have to really kind of stay here for the most part. But there's always something that I can do. I have, of course, the yarn. This is not anything except this is some of the colors of Tommy's blanket. But I just threw these in because I was just thinking, can't have a yarn bag without yarn. So I have my yarn in the bag. Whatever current project I'm working on that's travelable. I always usually have crochet cotton yarn in my travel bag because if anything else, I do originally I called them soap savers, but I sent some to Tommy and he came up with the name Soap Caddy. So I've changed mine to Soap Caddies or Soap Caddy, and then now on my little slip that I put in each one is listed that this name was given by Captain Tommy Scoville on the lifeboat. So I'm advertising the lifeboat every soap caddy I do. So anyway, there's always cotton yarn because I can make a soap caddy in about 30 minutes. So if I put one in here, then I always have ones in my inventory that I could pull out for somebody in our church that's having a birthday, or like if I give a mama a blanket for their child, I usually throw in a soap saver from, or I still call them soap savers, soap caddy for the mama. If somebody's having an anniversary, I'll give them two if I haven't given them one before. So I can make up these very quickly. So I always keep cotton yarn in my bag if I'm going someplace. And then I have my toolbox, my inner tools in here. All of my crochet hooks are in this thing. I do not have to go looking every which way and think, where did I put that last hook? Where is that one? It's all in here. They're put back in here every time, and the only ones I use is Susan Bates. That's it. There's no other hooks I like. I've tried all of them. I even have, just because I haven't been able to find a Susan Bates yet, again, for a 4.5 in case my 4.5 I need it. I do have a clover hook, but the grip is not a solid round grip, and I still have trouble with this one. So I do have it in here in case I need it, but inside this is all of my crochet hooks, and they're the bamboo handles. That's what I like the best. I have, Susan Bates does not make a 3, so I had to get a 3 that wasn't Susan Bates in case I need it. I have duplicates. I've got to go back to Joann's Fabrics and see if I can find a 4.5, because I'll grab a couple of them. I use that a lot, a 4.5, but they're all in here. And then I'm not searching for every crochet hook in the world. Anything I need, from a really big one to a really small one, is all in my thing. I have duplicates in here of some of the crochet hooks. I have, maybe I have one in here. I have my measuring tape in this back pocket here, this little envelope pocket. I have the measuring tape, so I can measure if I'm doing a scarf or something like that. So I have a measuring tape in here, and I don't know if I grabbed one. I hope I did. I hope it's in here. It may not be. I'll have to show you all, because I'm trying to come up with that myself. It may be in here, but oh yeah, it is. There's one here. Good. Yeah. Oh, I have to, or I'm gonna. Okay. I have this little pocket. I get these from Hobby Lobby. I have my needles in here, different sizes of the needles in here. And I also have these. Now, these I get at Hobby Lobby, and I use these when I'm trying to make sure that I'm going to stop a project for the evening, these little hooks. And I know right now I have literally 5 projects going at once. I've often gone back to a project going, what hook size was I using? Was it a 4.5? And sometimes it's easy, but it's sometimes hard if you're working with a 5, and then you go to a 5.5, and you go, can you really tell the difference? So I want to start making these myself so that I can do them, and I actually want to do them in wood, and I love to be able to do them in a way that I can do a paint pour and be able to put them out there for people that want to purchase them. But for right now, these are what I'm using. But if you can see, I put the number of the hook, whatever hook size it is. If it's a 5.5, I take 5.5 and I put it on this. Then I put it on my little clip, and I hook it to to the end, so that my work doesn't come out. And then when I go back to the project, if I don't touch it for 2 weeks, I can go back and go, oh, that's what size hook I'm using. I'm not having to remember that this was a 5.5 and my other project's a 4.5. If it's my soap savers or soap caddies, I know they're a 4.5 all day long. I don't need to remember that. But I have several blankets where they're most likely a 5, and I don't have to remember it. Majority of the 3 blankets I'm working on are a 5. I don't need to remember that. And my other ones are 4.5. I don't need to remember that. That's ingrained. But if I'm really going to question which one it is, it goes on a little, get these on Amazon, but I want to make my own And then that way when I go back to the project, I'm not thinking, going, what hook size was I using? I don't have to remember, because I've done that and I'm like, I think I'm using the correct hook. And you don't think it'll make an effect, but it actually will. I've got some buttons in here, and some hair ties in case I make those little things that goes. I love those things, by the way. My mother was like, I wish we could come up with something that we can put over our ovens. You could put the towels on it, and the stupid towels fall off, and you're picking them up about 3,000 times, which I can't do. And so I made the little things with the hair ties and the buttons. Then you're not having to sit there and pick up the towels 3,000 times in a row. So these all go in the back pocket with my tape. And then the other thing that goes in there or in this other little thing I got here, okay, is my scissors. And I'm telling you, I have 3,000 pairs of scissors, y'all, because I tend to lose them here and there. So there's my scissors. And, I got the craft scissors, and I'll usually keep a pair in here, in this one, and then I'll keep a pair in here. Now, in here goes something that I found very recently. I'm one that hates. There's a part of crochet that I'm like, if I could just totally find a way to eliminate it, I would. There's people that love tying in their ends and doing all these sewing work. I do not like it one bit. It is not something that I enjoy doing. And I have tried every which way possible to be able to make sure that my ends are not going to come out of the thing when I put them in. It doesn't work. So I just finally said, I just started doing research a little bit. And there's people that use glue. There's people that knot their work. And that's what I do. I do a lot of knotting. I do a method where I take one end and put it so it's almost like a bookmark. And I put a little glue in between that, and it's not going anywhere. I will do about anything where I do not have to tie in the end when I get done with something. I do whatever I can so that when I get done with a project, I've got my beginning end to do, and I've got my starting end, and that's it. But I use this. This is what I found is B7000, and I showed this last night. This is what I use to do it. I've had no problem, and it has this, if you can see, this little tip on the end. Let me see if I can get my hand. I don't know if you can see that little tip. You can see that little tip, and then I can dial it in to wherever I need to put it on the yarn. And I just put a little bit. Now, it can make it stiff just a little bit, but after washing it, it'll soften it up. But then I know that my stitches are staying exactly where they're supposed to be. And I often will take and put alcohol pads in here with this, because sometimes if the glue gets on the needle or the yarn or the scissors, they can get a little goopy. So then if you have alcohol pads in here, then you can make sure that you can take the alcohol pad and get it off of the scissors or off of the needle. But this stuff, it's like, I think this whole thing is like $7 or $8 on Amazon, and it lasts me a long time because I just use a dab, just enough to make sure that those little ends that you can sew in all which ways but loose are not going to go any place. When you put them, they're just going to have that little tacky, and they're going to stick, because eventually they pop out. You're like, how many times? They tell you if you do it 3 different directions, it's not going to come out. Well, I'm sorry. It still finds itself to pop out. And you've got this beautiful work, but then you got the pop out of this yarn. Forget it. So I do use a little glue. This is what I found. This is what I love. And part of the reason I love it is because it's got that little tip, and I can really die in, especially when I do the bobble stitch. I can really get into that bobble stitch and make sure that it's not going to go anywhere. It's just got a little tacky. just to make sure it's going to stick where it's going to stick. If I do use this, and then I always wash my stuff before I hand it to anybody. So if I do use this, I usually wait about 24 to 48 hours before I throw anything in the wash. And I've even used this on my soap caddies, and I personally use my own soap caddies myself, and I've never had them give out multiple washes. And this stuff is permanent. It is wonderful. And this is what I use to make sure that the ends are not going any place. So I highly recommend it tremendously, but you just need a dab. You don't need a tremendous amount, because if you use that, it may cause a little stiffness. But you just use a little dab just to make sure that those ends are going to stay exactly where you place them in. So that's what I use. And so far I've had great success with it. But again, if I did something yesterday, I did several hats and scarves, and I've put them aside now. Now I'm going to go throw them in the washer because they got to get mailed out tomorrow. And I wanted to give them that 24 hours to make sure that the glue is going to, cure properly. So I usually wait 24 to 48 hours before I'm throwing anything in the washer after I've used that. But sorry. I know there's crocheters like, well, you can do this and this and this and this. And I've tried it all. And I don't like my work, and then seeing those little ends pop and self it out. I just forget it. I don't know if pop and self it out is a word, but I guess I just made it up. So anyway, when I get done, my crochet hooks go back in here. They get zipped up. They all go back in here. They get zipped up, and they all go back in my toolbox. I am not having to search going, where did I put the 4.5 hook? Where did I put the 5.5 hook? Where did I put this hook? Where did I put this? Everything is all together. And you're right, Sandy Wendy. It's organized for a reason. Y'all don't think I'm the most organized person in the world. Far from it. If you saw my bedroom, it's got to get more organized. But when it comes to things like this, to me, when I sit down to crochet, I don't want to spend an hour searching for a crochet hook. I want to be able to sit down and know exactly where it is, and I want to be able to go to my work. If I've spent an hour searching for a crochet hook, I'm going to be, by the end of the hour, I'm going to be, forget it. I'm done. I've had it. I've spent an hour out of frustration. It was so funny recently because I was looking, because I was taking him with me to the conference, and I was literally looking. I don't know if I put it back in here or not. We'll see. Oh, I was literally looking. I'm like, I know I had rolled this little piece of yarn. There was more of it, but I made 2 soap caddies. I knew I had rolled this up to go in so I could take it with me, because I didn't want to start this skein until I had finished with this one. I'm like, I know I had done that. I spent literally 45 minutes looking for this. You're gonna laugh when I tell you where it was. I looked in my bag too, and I didn't see it. I did not see it. And I'm like, I don't know where it was looking for. Maybe it was, I don't know how I looked. It was in there the entire time. Was this little ball of yarn I had placed right exactly where I was supposed to put it. And I looked at my bag. I didn't see it. I tore my drawer apart. I looked every place. I'm like, I don't want to do that. When I'm sitting down for my crochet stuff, even if this is sitting on our coffee table, even if it's sitting in the drawer, all of my crochet hooks go back in here because I don't want to be looking for this. This to me is like it's my toolbox. It is part of my toolbox. And I don't want to go looking for, what hook I need. I want it to be all right in here. So my suggestion to you, if you are a crocheter or a knitter, my mother has, and I'll have to bring it one time, she has this not old-fashioned, but this place where she keeps all her knitting needles. She hasn't knitted for a while. And there's a blanket. Mother, that she started when I was young. And it's this beautiful heart blanket. Right? And so then eventually I grew up and I said, Mom, just make it for Christina. Well, you know what it's going to be made for? Eventually for her great grandchildren. It's a pink blanket, so Christina down the road better have a girl because that's what it's going to be. Or it may be for way, way down the road. But I'm sitting there going, Mom, you've got to finish this blanket. She's like, I only have one more row to do. And I'm like, you've got to finish it. It's a beautiful, beautiful blanket. But we tease each other. I'm like, she just kind of put it in a bag and it didn't get brought out and so forth. I'm like, you've got to finish this. She says, I know. But she even has a place where all of her needles, or her crochet needles, or not crochet needles, her crochet or knitting needles are all in a bag. They're all in the thing that she could roll out and pull out. And it came handed down to her. So, my suggestion is if you're somebody that does crochet, get something like this. This one is from Damero. And of course it's in purple, my favorite color. And put your crochet hooks in here. You will find out that when even if this is in a couple different places, if you leave it, when you pick it up and say, I'm going to sit down and do my crochet, you're going to sit down and you're going to do it, but everything is organized in it. You're not searching for everything all over the place. Everything is in one place, even if you don't have it in a bag. Hello, Martisa. Even if you don't have it in a bag, you have all your tools right there. You're not spending an hour looking for it. And we were talking about what I have in my crochet toolbox, which I tend to keep all my stuff and all my crochet stuff very organized so that it's all right in here. And I went through earlier so you can go back and watch, but all of my stuff is here. I don't have to search for my crochet hooks. Now, I love Susan Bates. It must be, my grandmother's last name, or one of her last names was Bates, so I guess it's should I get a discount because the family name a little bit? My last name was not Bates, but my grandmother's last name was Bates. But they're all here. And when I go to do a project, I'm not frustrated like I was trying to find that little scrap of yarn that I needed before I started the next skein of yarn for my soap caddies. It was all in here. But sometimes we're so focused, like I don't remember what I was doing, but I was so focused on finding it, and it kind of blended into the bottom of this bag is black, and it kind of blended into it, and I didn't see it. And then when I wasn't looking for it, guess what? There it was. How often in life do we sit there going, I know it's in here. I know I put it in here. And we're so hydro-focused to find something that we're just going, okay, we're going to find it. And then we realize, wait a minute, it's been there all along. We needed to step back and take a look at the situation and evaluate it, and then we could find it a heck of a lot easier. So I take this bag, I'm telling you, it has traveled. This bag, my crochet bag, has traveled, and it goes everywhere. The only thing I can't take with me is, again, the blankets, just because one of the blankets, I literally have 5 skeins of yarn coming at me at once, which I never thought I could do. I never thought I'd be that apt to be able to have 5 different skeins of yarn coming at me. But, I take it. And even if I think, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to crochet, I still take it with me. Because there's been times I've sat there going, man alive, I really wish that I had my bag with me. We were in Cincinnati and our car needed to be fixed. And it was supposed to just be a quick little thing. And I didn't take my crochet bag with me. And I happened to be doing ponchos for Christmas for all the ladies in our family. And I was trying to get them, done out and made sure that they were all done in time. And I remember sitting there kind of frustrated with myself that I didn't bring my crochet bag. And I said, if we had known, we ended up being there like 3 hours. And I thought, and I said to my husband originally, I said, can I not come along because I've got all this work to do? And I went for some reason. I can't remember why I went. And I'm sitting there going, I really wish that I had brought the crochet bag with me so that I could have had it there and sat. And so even if I don't think I'm going to need it, I bring it. Unless I know I'm going to Sam's Club or something like that. And then, of course, it 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 doesn't come with me because I've got a plan and a purpose, or if I'm going to the grocery store. But if I know I'm going to a doctor's office, if I know I'm sitting in a car dealership, which doesn't happen very often, if I know that I'm going, my husband and I do our counseling sessions. So for the first hour of his session, I'll sit there and often crochet for the first hour, and then the next hour is mine, and I put it away. So, you know, if you're a crocheter, get a bag, take it with you, and gives you something to do. I amaze myself when I go out and I see parents that do not bring a bag for their children to sit for an hour or 3 hours trying to keep busy, of being able to keep them occupied other than handing them the phone, say, here, play a game. Well, after a while, it gets a little boring. And so, you know, I just get amazed. Another thing I have in here too is lotion. Sometimes when you're crocheting, your hands get a little dry. So I usually have some lotion in here so I can put that on my hands. And another thing that I have in there is earphones. So that if I am someplace and I just want to put the earphones on and listen to something on YouTube or something, or so what have you, I can get in the zone and I can put in my earbuds and just, and just focus on that. So I have everything that I need, and it just stays right in here. I also keep my, it's in here or not? I need to get a new one. I don't think it's in here. So I took it out because I need a new one. But I have one of those neck lights. I usually just use it at home. So usually it's just in my drawer. It's not usually something that I take with me, unless I'm going in the car. But it's been well loved and used, and I need a new one. But yes, I mean, I started recently putting in the lotion, and what I find that I use, which one do I have? I make sure I get lotion that really absorbs well into the hands quickly, because if it doesn't, it's the Gold Bond Healing Hydrating Cream with aloe, and it's just a travel size one. I just go to the Walmart and just go to the travel size aisle, and whatever lotion they have, I just get a little bottle and I throw it in there. And because when you crochet, sometimes your hands get dry, and then depending on the yarn, sometimes it just doesn't go as smoothly. So if you put on a little lotion, it is wonderful. Another one, and actually after this one is done, I'm going to put it in this bag, is A&E cream from Dollar Tree. Let me tell y'all, that's the bomb. That is I put that on my hands. I love it. It's A&E cream from Dollar Tree, and it's like $1.25. And that's where I'm going next. That's what's going to be going in this bag, because I can put that on my hands, and it's absorbed quickly, and there's not this greasy thing. When you're dealing with yarn, you don't want to have greasiness on your hands, because then it's going to get on the yarn. So I'm just telling you, I search for so many other things in my life. This is one thing I don't want to search for. I don't want to search for, I don't want to be searching for what gives me pleasure, especially if I'm having a bad fibromyalgia day. It has to be in one place, and it goes, even if I get done on the coffee table, everything goes right back in this bag for a specific reason. It goes in here, and I know exactly where it is all the time. Because if I'm having a really difficult day, like I was Tuesday, trying to get out of bed to go search for this is not going to happen. there's no way. I'm going to say, forget it. I'll just lay here in pain. Well, that's the worst thing that I could do for myself. So get yourself organized. I totally forgot to put the ring light on because it's daylight. I usually come on at night. Like there's something missing. What's missing? It's the ring lights. Let there be light, right? See, we're going to have some fun. Now you can see why everything goes in a bag, because Mary's memory sometimes... Oh, listen, y'all, we need to laugh. We need to laugh. So anyway, I'm sitting going, looks different. There's something that looks different. It's not, the lighting's not there. Oh boy, I hope today made you laugh. It sure did well for me. Right before I came on, I turned on great content. If it makes you laugh today, that's good. Right before I came on, actually it was funny. My daughter called me because Josh had a crash in the middle of the night. He woke up and he said, I need you to go get me. We have the Smucker's peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in the freezer. If you're a diabetic, those are really good to have on hand. We could buy them at the Sam's Club, and we put them in the freezer, and then those are great because it gives him protein and carbs and sugar all at once, and he has an apple juice, and it helps his sugar get back up. So it was like 4:30 this morning. He says, I need you to go get me I need you to go get me the Uncrustables. So I went and got him that, and this was like 4:30. So I didn't fall back to sleep till 6 o'clock in the morning, and I slept until about 10. And my daughter ends up calling me up, and she's FaceTiming me. So it was like, okay, I hope everything's all right. And she said, Mom, what do you think? And she has a friend staying with her, and they have dyed her hair like the sides of it blue. I was like, good morning, Mom. I was like, what do you think? And I'm like, it's hair. It's just dye. It's going to go ahead and wash out. That was my wake up call this morning. And, so that was pretty funny, but, I was like, okay, kid. She's like, Mom, what do you think? And I'm like, it's going to wash out. No big deal. So we have to laugh. We have to have fun. And then right before I came on, I remembered that song they did at the conference, and it was, I put it in the description of the last video. Don't worry about the waves. And so I did one of those jam songs. I wish I could play it here, but I can't. It's just jamming to it. And I was sitting there going, okay, I'm having a good day. And then I'm going to leave here and go have something to eat. And then we're going to go tackle the garage. So I have to have some kind of sense of humor before I go out there. So, we have to talk about the heavy stuff. We have to talk about, having your back and connection and, this and that. But sometimes we just need to come on and have some fun. Like I was talking the other day, I'd love to be able to this month take you all down to the Amish country. I need to get a gimbal. That is on my Amazon wish list, so I do have to get a gimbal. But we'll see. But I need to get one so that I'm not making everybody a little nauseous. But there's beautiful, beautiful places down in the Amish country. And I'd love to be able to take you all down there. It may not be live, but I'd love to be able to do like a vlog of what the Amish country is, which is about 45 minutes to an hour away from my house. So I'd like to do that. And then we're in the path of the eclipse. So my husband said there's something at Lowe's you can get to put on your phone. So maybe I'll be able to put it on my phone and do that live. I've got the sunglasses for it. Or the special glasses for the eclipse. And then, of course, the 9th is the day that we've got the court hearing for the adoption for Christina and Josh. And then the 13th, we're going to try to empty the storage unit. And then Christina and her husband are moving to their new place. So it's going to be a very busy April. And somewhere we're going to have Easter with the kids. So I'm probably going to spend the first half of it busy and then the rest of half crashing. Um, I know May the 3rd, and I do not know what day that is. Let's check that out. Let's see. I said last night, can it already be, um, that's a Friday. Okay, May the 3rd is my dad's birthday. And it is, of course, his heavenly birthday. He's not here. But I figured we'll try to do, excuse me, a little birthday party of some kind, heavenly birthday party for him May the 3rd. So I've got some content coming up. I want to have my friend on with, she started that whole thing about sitting on the couch and, thing for me. So I'd like to have her on. And I'm going to have Chow Yun Smut on. Excuse me. Chow Yun Smut on to talk about traveling with people with disabilities. I thought that would be a great thing to talk about. Before she comes on, I will also have a show on about service dogs, very clear discussion about them, and my experience coming from having to be a parent of a child who needed a service animal. And so we'll have that, but then we're going to have her on because I really think talking to somebody who is, she's very knowledgeable about travel. She's a travel agent herself, runs her own business, and I think it would be very helpful to be able to talk about, traveling with a service dog and traveling with disabilities on a cruise, traveling on a train. What is your rights checking into a hotel disabled or with a service animal? How do you handle traveling when you're going on a plane with both disabilities and service dogs? So I really think she thought that was a great idea that we come on and, we could maybe stream it on her channel too. And talking about traveling with those with disabilities. I want to have Kelly B69 on. I want to have Jen Marie on. So we got some content coming up that I really want to have. And I think is very important. And if you have a show and you think that what I do, talking about fibromyalgia or raising a child with special needs or, having a service animal or whatever it is, please reach out to me. My email address is below in the description, and I'll be more than glad to come on. And so, I expanding, right? But we're going to have some fun. I'm telling you what, we're going to have some fun. I loaded up a video today. It was actually a Mother's Day. Excuse me. It was Mother's Day last year, and Christina and I don't sing. You all do not want to hear me sing. Nope. But she has a beautiful voice. So I did a little speech about a mother's heart, and she did one of my favorite songs, "You're My All in All." When she was growing up, that was one thing that I just leaned into, and I would hear that song over and over again when I needed the strength to keep going and keep doing it, especially being a single mom for several years before I got remarried. So I'm excited. I'm excited to just keep pressing forward and talking about crochet and having some fun and having some good laughs. And I thought, I'm not going to come on here and talk about anything serious today. I'm going to come on and talk about something fun. And, when I start talking about crochet, I light up. And I understand when I talk about crochet, a thought about having to actually teach you all how to crochet, no. That's not me. But I love talking about yarn, and I love talking about, different kind of things that have helped me in doing my crochet stuff. But I don't want to, no. That may change, but for right now, it's just not something that I want to be doing. But I'm glad that everybody is enjoying the content, and I hope that this was kind of helpful today to just show you what's in your toolbox. And kind of think about that about life. If you have something that you really enjoy or something, try to find some place that if you have to keep something important, like that box I have. Hold on, I should mention, I think. Come on, Rosie. That's her name. I decided that's her name. Like the box. This is Rosie. That's Rosie. There's a whole story behind Rosie, but that's Rosie. That's what I decided. I just think she's so fitting to be Rosie. But inside here is all the postcards that I'm getting for Tommy. We got to get this full because I'm not just sending a couple here and there. But I've gotten several postcards, and they're all in this box. Hold on a second. There's others that are in here that I'm not going to show, but I've gotten several postcards for Tommy. And then when I get them, they're all going in Rosie. You know why? Because I know me. I know that if I didn't find some place, and this is so much prettier than a cardboard box, if I didn't find some place to put this in, they're going to get misplaced. They're too important to just be laying around. I don't want them ruined. I want them in one place. I want them protected, and then when we get done and this box is overflowing, I can just put them in a box and keep them in a special place. I don't want anything to happen to them. They're too precious. And then when I send them off, I get to keep this box and know that it was filled with a lot of love for Tommy, or for Spanx or Cedar. They're all going in one place. And I have a laundry basket. Okay, this is my laundry basket, y'all. And those are the ones that I have finished. Like I said, I'm not somebody that does many hats, but this is one hat I did. Like I said, my favorite stitch is that dang on bobble stitch. I just love it. Yours is getting mailed out. So I have this, right? And like I said, that glue, you can feel it a little bit, but not major. It's not major. And then when it's washed, it'll be fine. But this is the bobble stitch. So I have this. And, you know, and I have something else in here too. I've got a bunch. Where are you? I'm gonna find it in a minute. Oh, that's the one I needed. I had it. And I have this. This is the scarf that goes with it, okay? And they're all put in that basket for a reason. These all have to get washed. And I don't want to go hunt for them, so I'm going to go take this to my washer in a little bit, and I'm going to throw them in the washer. But those are all done. They're completed. They all have to be washed, and they're going to be emptied. And then this was a poncho I did for somebody that did something really special for us, and I have to send it to her. And I'm working on a poncho, y'all, for Reese. That's okay. I got laid on your live too. I don't know why YouTube doesn't send out them dang on notifications. It gets me so frustrated at times. But anyway, I had somebody do something special, so I've had this in the basket for a while, and it needed to get done, so I told her I was going to get it mailed out. But this was a poncho I did. So all of them go into the basket, and they're all ready to go into the washer. I've got several on here actually. They're all the same design. They're all the same design. Here's another one. I don't know why when I do hats, like They always get bigger. They're huge on people. I don't know why. This is the first pattern I've done that it's not been huge. I use a 4.5 hook even though it's scheduled for a 5.5 with the yarn. But everything's in that basket. Now the rest of my life has got to get more organized, but when it comes to my crochet and things like this, body movement, I saw that. And for some reason, my other's keeper, I thought that Jen was Thursday and the chair yoga was Tuesday. Like I said, Tuesday was, by the time I got done with about 11 o'clock at night, my pain level was like, okay, I'm done. I've been fighting pain. And literally every time I got up Tuesday, there was just tears rolling down my face. I don't know what made it hurt so bad, but I'm like, I can't. And I'm going to fight through this headache that's popping up. Don't like it. I'm finding a coordination between when I'm woken up in the middle of the night and when I sleep right through. When I wake up like I did and my husband's waking me up to go get his something because his sugar's crashing and I want him to wake me up. Believe me, it's worth the headache because he's still here in the morning. But then when I wake up and I can't go back to sleep for a couple hours and I go back to sleep and I'm still tired, then I think I've noticed that then I have a higher chance of having a headache. So I'm going to get off here in a minute. I'm going to go try to get something to eat and then take my medicine and work in the garage and hope that just stops it. We'll see. I don't know, but I need one of those hats. Like, it's on my wish list. I need one of those hats Tommy has. And my birthday is in June, so when it's my birthday, believe me, I'm going to be doing a party with you all here. We're going to have a birthday bash. So I'm excited about that one in June. And again, I'm turning 29. I'm going to turn 29 for the rest of my life. I had a friend of mine at work who just said, she just said, I have a rule of thumb. And she was, of course, in her 40s. She said, I just keep celebrating my 29th birthday over and over and over again. So, and if you want to drop your link, my other's keeper, go ahead and do so. But anyway, I keep everything together. When it comes to my crochet, the last thing I want to do is go look for it for an hour. Not happening. Just a note to my mods, if you're on here, you have full permission to drop your channel's links 100% and the lifeboat. Any other channels that I want you to drop, I will let you know. I'll just say mod drop this or drop that. But if you're a mod and you have a channel, you're absolutely allowed to drop your channel. You're able to drop the lifeboat anytime you want. Any other channels, I'll just say go ahead and drop. So that's the way I'm going to roll with that one. All right? And I appreciate when they allow me, and I'm mods on several channels. I appreciate tremendously when they allow me to drop my links in their chat. So I want to be able to honor that over here too as well. And we're going to have Kim on. I want to do the talk about bipolar, bring my grandmother into that a little bit. And I also think too in that discussion, to me, have lived with bipolar and my grandmother. It is very easy for me to see bipolar in Elvis Presley. I guarantee you that man had undiagnosed bipolar. Just because they used to say he used to jump, he could be here and then down here and some of his other patterns. It's very easy for me to see it that's most likely what he was using. Unfortunately, drugs to be able to level out. But we're going to have that discussion. I want to go into more depth too. She has an amazing story, and I would love for her. I'm going to get her on my channel too as well this month. And have her tell her story too. So we're going to get it all together, but we're going to have some fun along the way. We got to have some fun. Goodness gracious. And when I reach 1,000 subscribers, boy, are we going to have a party. We're going to have a party up in here for sure when that happens. So maybe I'll find something from the Amish country to maybe do something like a giveaway or something. That'd be pretty cool. I go down there and get some things, and unfortunately it'd have to be for US only, but the 48 states, but maybe I could do something like that. I think that's what I'll do, is to have to be stuff that's non-perishable, but they've got some amazing things down in the Amish country. But I thought this month I will take you down there, maybe through video, but I will take you down there. It is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I just need to get a gimbal, because then I don't make anybody a little bit nauseous. Don't want to do that. Not that to my friends, not whatsoever. So, just my suggestion, if you've got something that you enjoy, find a way to organize it so it's in one place, so that when you go sit down, whether it is cross stitch, crossword puzzle, diamond art, whatever it may be, find something so when you're sitting down to do whatever you enjoy doing, you're not searching for all the tools you need to be able to do it, because that takes away some of the enjoyment of it. If you have to spend yarn, no, there's a piece of yarn in my mouth. There's not fibers. Occupational habit, or occupational, yeah, I think it's occupational habit, or hazard, occupational hazard. If you watch the Benson, you'll totally understand what I'm saying. But anyway, if you have to go searching for your tools, if you're doing something that you totally enjoy, then you're going to take it away, the enjoyment, when you sit down and do it, because you've spent 45 minutes to an hour searching for whatever you needed to do the project. So try to keep whatever it is that you're doing, if you're doing some kind of craft or whatever it is, together, some way of organizing it, so you can say that's in the same place or it's in the same bag, and I know what bag it is, and then when I go to that bag, there it is, and I can sit down and enjoy doing it and working on it, and I'm not having to go find it all over the place. And then you can sit down and really enjoy it, instead of spending an hour looking for all the... I know for myself, if I spent an hour looking for one crochet hook, I'd be throwing up my hands saying, okay, I'm frustrated. I'm not in a good place to crochet and I need to walk away. I don't want to do that. I enjoy this way too much. This is a tool. And just like guys, I know because I got one in the other room, his tools are all organized for the most part. But his tools are organized and they're all together, and he knows where they are, even if they're in different containers. But he takes care of his tools. They're important to him. And so this is a tool that's important to me. And I'm going to make sure that it's together and it's organized. And that will, it's slowly realizing, wait a minute. Sorry. If this is organized, then I need to organize more stuff, because this needs to be a ripple effect. And I think it can become a ripple effect. If you care about this, Mary, then you need to care about the other things too as well. And you need to find organizing solutions. For instance, when I sit in this chair, we live in an apartment, so listen, y'all, when my husband does a closet, you could put 20,000 pounds on one rack and it ain't going anywhere, because he fixes it so that it's in the studs, it's held, it's sturdy as all get out. Well, we live in an apartment. Even though it's a very nice one and so forth, I can't hang as much stuff as I would on my closet as I would like to, because it's not done by my husband, who when we put up a closet every time, because we had one closet mishap happen in our home, and he was like, I'm done. And he went and got the heaviest duty screws and this weight and this, you could imagine, I mean, Fort Knox could have been put on there and it would have never fallen. So we did that with every place we ever moved into that was ours. We made sure that they got everything in the walls, and they just weren't going anyplace. I can't do that here. So I can't put all my clothes in the closet to hang up, because it cannot hold all the weight of all of our clothes. Not that we have tons of them, but, still. And so I get done with laundry, and there's things I just don't have room to hang up. And I have to place them in this chair. Well, then I have to take it from the chair, and I got to go put it on the bed. Then I got to take the clothes off the bed and put it back in the chair. And this has been happening now for months. I'm like, I am done. So I've got to find a solution, whether it's to go get some bins at the Dollar General or Walmart or whatever, to put those clothes in, so that I've got a tall cabinet here that I need to unload, and that I used when I was doing all of Christina's flowers for her wedding. I need to unload that. I need to organize it. I need to go through it. And then I need to just redo that so I can put things like sweatpants and stuff and jeans and stuff that I don't want to be hanging up in the closet that are going to take room, so that I have a place to put them and I can find some bins and put the clothes in some bins. But the point of it is that, I'm seeing if I care about this enough, and I care that this is a tool that helps me deal with pain, I need to also care about organizing the rest of my life. And it seems very daunting to go, how am I going to do this? Well, once I start, it's not going to be so challenging. But I just sometimes need to do just a little bit. And this is just a little glimpse into making me realize, and I'm sitting here realizing, I'm just doing something little to organize something that's very special to me. So if I just do a little bit, if I take one little step and organize it, then it's not going to be so daunting. So if I only do just a little bit every day, because I sat here moving them clothes from this chair to the bed thinking, I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want to keep lifting this heavy load of clothes 10 times, because I can't do very many at once, and putting it on the bed. I want to be able to come, turn on the computer, as slow as girl as it is, it's slow, get it up and running, and sit down and not have to do it, because now I really care about getting on this YouTube thing and connecting with you all and talking with you all. So it's something now I care about. Well, I don't want to have to sit there going, I don't want to get on there because now I've got to move the clothes and already get on the thing. Forget it. Nope. It's the same concept about this. Everything goes in here, so I'm not hunting down to find all the tools for my toolbox. I want to be able to come on here with joy instead of just spent 5 minutes taking clothes and moving them to the bed. So, if you care about something, do just a little bit to try to organize it so you're not hunting for whatever it may be, or taking joy away from whatever you care about doing. Because in order to do that, you have to go through all these steps. Forget it. And I'm sure that there's ways that I could go on the YouTube and look up organizational videos and go, oh, I don't know why I didn't think of that. We've got so many channels on the YouTube for so many things. Look and see what you could do to find how to organize. If this helps somebody to say, oh, that's a great idea. Because every time I go for my crochet, I got to spend half an hour looking for a hook. I've got 10,000 hooks. I don't need 10,000 hooks. I've got them all here. I know exactly how many hooks I have. Now, the only hook that I really would like to get more of is that 4.5 Susan Bates. But them Susan Bates, I'm telling you, they're my favorite. I love them. They're my favorite. Is the bamboo ones. They're smooth, and the clover hooks tend to have. They're not round. They've got like a divot in them, and I don't like them because the way my hand moves when I crochet, there's just something about these. And those are my favorite. I don't seem to get wrist problems with them. I can crochet for a very long time. I can't use the standard hook that everybody uses. I have to use something with something on it because I can't. It's too thin, and then my hands start hurting. And I don't use the compression gloves. I may have to one of these days, but I don't. I can't use the ones that have nothing on them other than the hook, because my hands can't do that. And one thing I will say with the Susan Bates here, this is one of the reasons I like them. If I can pull them out, let's see. Let's pull this one out. So you can see here, and then I'm going to get off here. And here's why I like the Susan Bates. Can you see this? The shaft of this is this long. I don't like that. The length of the Susan Bates hook, now this is a 3, and I had to get a 3 because Susan Bates didn't make a 3. Can you not see the difference? This is longer than this. And actually, when you do it this way, it's almost double the size of this hook. Even, let's see, fours. I have them usually pretty organized. Okay, let's use a 3.5. Actually, I have a 3. I don't know why they don't make it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm trying to look. Okay, here's a 3.25. Do you not see the difference? This is here, right? It's almost double the size of, and it's crazy because this here is the handle's longer. Okay? But I don't like how short the needle is. I like having a longer crochet hook than a longer handle. So I really struggle with these. I will use it if it calls for it. I have a 3 if I need it. But the reason I like the Susan Bates, especially the bamboo ones, are because the shaft is longer. And even and these are supposed to be very good, and I'm not saying they're not. And I did get, this was a Walmart brand, even though this one, I forgot which one, this is Yarn Inspirations one. Even this is very similar to the Susan Bates. This is longer. And I'll use it if I needed to. It's a 4.5. No, it's a 5. You know, I got it. The bamboo isn't as soft as this. This is a softer handle. I just don't. I don't like it. I do not like it. I'm looking for. This is one of the reasons I don't like the clover hooks. And there's some people that love them. And I don't. And I'll show you why. It's the same problem. And they're expensive. My Lord, they are. Here's the problem again. Look at that. That's why I don't like it. I like the longer crochet hook and the handle. You know, I just like it longer. I'm not sure if this is called a shaft or not. But anyway, I like the longer part of it. I don't like the thing. And again, the handle's longer, but I wish they would do one where they would bring the crochet hook part of it longer. And then, especially if you're working with the bobble stitches like I have, they tend to get caught up in here, and it makes it frustrating. And the clover hook, see, this is round. These are the same hooks. This is almost flat. And I realized when I started working with this for a moment, I tend to roll my crochet hook when I'm doing it. That's the problem. And this forces your hand here, and you can't move it very easily. And that's why I love these. I know people, I don't know all the terminology, y'all, but that's why I tend to not like it. I tend to not like it. So anyway, that's my little beef about, I have one in here in case my 4.5 breaks, because I've got to get more Susan Bates 4.5s. I have to go back to Joann Fabrics and pick more up. I'll probably pick up like 10 of them, or at least 5 of them, so I don't have a problem with them. But I picked it up because I thought I'll try it, but I'm just not a fan. Not a fan. So anyway, that's my little educational video on getting organized and what I have in my toolbox. And how I keep my crochet hooks all together and how I do all the organizational stuff. And then look around and realize I just put about low laundry on the bed so I can sit in this chair. So I'm not the most organized person in the world. Far from it. I think it'd be an ongoing thing for the rest of my life. So I'm not going to be on tonight. I will be on, I don't know about tomorrow yet, and I don't know about Saturday. We will see. But I really hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope this was just something light and fun and nothing heavy. Go check out my other keeper. She'll be doing, her friend will be doing a chair yoga video, which I will be listening to. And she also did a wonderful interview, with Jen Marie. So go check that out as well. She did a great interview with that. And I really hope you have a wonderful day. And just remember, don't worry about the waves. God's got you in his precious hands. God's got the waves. And sometimes we just need to sit in those waves and realize that God has us. He's not going to let anything happen to us. He has us in his precious hands all the time. So don't worry about the waves. Trust in God and lean on him. And let's lean on each other too. And my way I will end every show is stay connected. Put that tool in your toolbox. It is so precious. Please make sure you're subscribed. And please like that like button. You're blessing me. And you're also making friends in the process by subscribing to this great community. So glad you came in today. And I'm so welcomed. So glad and happy that you're here. So have a wonderful day and stay connected. Bye-bye, y'all.